This is coal. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared.
I just love the idea.
To just-
I just love the idea of being warm.
CLINATE. Change.
Oh my jeez.
Thanks, Chapel. But if you want a chapel roam around the wilderness, you need good shoes and a wilderness. Pants are optional. But the actual process of making those good walking shoes has a pretty significant environmental impact. Although one advantage of Nike's child slave labour, they have a very small carbon footprint. Because of the small feet. Because of the small feet. Climate change. They're the hot new words of the mid to late 70s. But what do they actually mean? Is this all actually a conspiracy made up by lazy scientists so they can get more grant money and a third degree instead of getting a proper job? Or have we actually fucked Mother Earth sans lubricant? She's just so curvy. Depending on who you ask. Which is interesting, because it does actually depend on who you ask. If you ask me, a man with half a physics degree who is generally considered by his closest friends a dipshit, I'd say, I don't know, probably. Ask someone else. If you ask a scientist who actually studies it, they'd say yes, and we should have done something about it ages ago. But if you ask, for a random example, your uncles on Facebook, they'll tell you that it's made up by Joe Biden to sell more vaccines. And if you ask an oil executive or someone who profits from the things that scientists claim causes climate change, they'll tell you to get fucked and protect your windows. I want to get to the bottom of this like normal people and avoid all that scientific language so we can figure this out properly. Climate change with dick jokes. Here we go. Hey ChatGPT, do you love me?
Feed me more penguins.
Oh, you're so cute when you're hungry.
The blood of the many must be spilled to appease the whims of the few.
Well, what even is climate change?
In a word, bad. In more words, not great. There's this stuff called air, right? It's made up of a bunch of good stuff, like oxygen. That's what we need to breathe. You know, that and cigarettes. And there's this stuff that just sort of sits and watches from the cuck air, like nitrogen. Doesn't do anything, just sits there. And there's this stuff that's really bad for you to breathe in, like arsenic and farts. And carbon dioxide, as a random example. Carbon dioxide is one of those gases that's produced when we do things like drive cars and make labubus. The other sources of climate change causing gases are fuckload. And I'm not going to go into it today. You just get to read them there because it's beyond the scope of this video and it'll take me forever. So just for now, know that someone's...
Sorry, you start that again. I fucking got us both.
No, I'm just going to keep rolling because it's quite funny. So just for now, know that someone's farting in our global elevator. That big hot bastard up there, that's the sun. It's hotter than your mum breastfeeding.
Jesus, holy fuck. Alright, okay. That's the correct way I got it,
It's bloody ages away, and yet it's still warm enough to... And it's still warm enough to
breastfeed.
and it's still warm enough to breastfeed. It's still hot enough to, in summer, heat up my car seatbelts enough to brand my inner thigh with safety warnings, which are sometimes very needed. When that heat reaches us here on Shit Outta Luck 3, the heat gets absorbed by things like the ocean and plants and the bits of your back that your mate forgot to rub SPF 50 onto. But some of it just bounces around in the atmosphere, trapped by all those bad gases. That means we slowly get hotter and hotter. But if you want to get hotter faster, you can try Ozempic. Ozempic. Work smarter, not harder. Slow cooking is good for a stew, but bad for a you. If you want to test this theory, put a roast in the oven, leave the door open, and then do the old ExxonMobil approach, shut the door, trap all that heat in there. Cooks beautifully. Those are the basics, but I'm sure you've still got questions.
Yeah, it's fucking still cold in winter, you woke pansy.
That's
That was not my line, was it?
It's all script.
You're actually spot on. You're so right. Let's just throw the whole idea away.
I got another line.
You know, those are the basics, but I'm sure you've still got questions.
Yeah, it's still cold in winter, you lefty snowflake.
You fucking spot on, mate. What are we even doing here? Actually, it is still cold in winter. Let's throw the whole idea away. Climate change is fake. And oh wait, hang on, no, that point's actually absolute dog shit. Because the climate and the weather are two different things. The weather is what it's like on a single day or a small time period. Meanwhile, the climate is what it's like when you have a tub of ice cream that suddenly disappears from the freezer, because it's what happens after a long period.
Jesus. Oh my god. Is that sexist?
I don't think it's sexist.
I don't think so, because it's like...
It's not. It's just people like ice cream. People like ice cream when they're crimping. I don't know any women. When you take the average or the middle temperature from one whole year and compare it to the average or middle temperature of the last year, you're going to see that it's getting a little bit hotter each year. To be more precise, it will be colder in winter than summer because the Earth is moving. Don't panic, we'll explain that more later. But each winter is a little bit warmer than the one before. From 1910 to 2024, we've warmed by 1.51 degrees Celsius.
Huh, less than 2 degrees. Ever heard of AC?
The number sounds small, but as I always keep trying to tell people, small things can have a big impact.
From little
Things, big things grow from little things. This is enough to melt significant chunks of sea ice, increase the risk of catastrophic weather events, and, just to keep everyone interested, jingle, 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 harm the global economy. Jingle, 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 jingle. Global economy. Line go down. Stock not work no more. Crypto. Yeah, there we go.
Your money's at risk.
Your money's at risk. Your frozen assets might jingle, thaw.
Oh no, climate change affects my assets.
Oh no, not my assets.
Fuck, now I care.
Now I suddenly care. We'll break down the exact effects more in a future video because frankly, again, bunch of them beyond the scope of this video, quite upsetting. Trying to keep this fun and lighthearted, not all catastrophic-y. So suffice to say, small number, big impact. Big number, we die.
But all these sources have a left-wing bias. Give me a bloody real right-wing source, you hippie.
In the 70s, decade of platform shoes, ExxonMobil, global oil exchange, in the 70s,
Oh fuck, oh my
Global.
God, the biggest orgy on record.
I mean, they have a lot of oil. In the 70s, decade of platform shoes, ExxonMobil platformed the idea that climate change is no big deal, nothing to worry about. Meanwhile, the scientists that they hired to run studies and tests on climate change actually discovered that the current rate of emissions would cause the planet to increase by 0.2 degrees per decade. These scientists were paid to run studies by the oil company, and they still found numbers which agree pretty spot on to what we've actually seen, 0.2 degrees increase per decade. So, with that stunning scientific knowledge gained in these papers run by these scientists, ExxonMobil invested millions of dollars into inventing new, more efficient paper shredders to get rid of these studies because they might be harmful to business. They would then spend decades denying the impacts of their business on the climate because that might be bad for stocks. Again, line go down. It's very rare that we see anyone running a support campaign for the shareholders, but I think they've got their own backs. Now, I can't think of a more right-wing source than an oil company who denies scientific claims for their own benefit. Can you?
But what does any of this mean?
It means that the planet's gas blanket is getting thicker and thicker. Without people finally taking the action that scientists have been begging them for decades, we have fucked it. I don't mean us regular folks. Our impact is, in the grand scheme, very little. And this is a case where size actually does matter. And there are some people out there with a much bigger carbon footprint. You know what they say about people with big footprints?
They're massive cocks.
They are massive cocks.
Can we blame the immigrants yet?
No, actually, because dinghies don't have much of a carbon footprint. Yachts do, though.
What about trans people? Surely they're to blame.
I mean, every drag queen story time in the world combined still has a smaller carbon footprint than both or either of Elon Musk's 2 divorces. So, no. A recent study published in the journal Nature, which is considered extremely reliable, and with high review requirements and minimal political bias, as reported in a number of articles which review reliability, found that 2/3, or 1/5, for the math students in the room, of global warming is attributable to the wealthiest 10%. This doesn't mean your Sparky mate who's just bought dirt bike number 3. This means cunts like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg, and the ladies too. Hey, T-Swift gets in there. T-Swift and her private jet usage accounted for 8,300 tonnes of CO2 in 2022 alone. For comparison, Joel, the average Aussie household emits 15 to 20 tonnes per year. I'll repeat that. Taylor Swift, as a solo person, emitted more climate change causing gases into the air just from flying about, jet setting away across the town, setting a new era, than 415 entire Aussie families doing their entire yearly lives.
And I'll get dorky about this. That doesn't include the pyrotechnics at our shows.
No, or can we just say that her lyrics are hot air? Sorry, Swifties, please don't kill me. Not to mention Jeff's wedding, which recently had an estimated 100 private jets arrive, roughly, and contributed to, what's this number? 10,213 tons of carbon or carbon equivalent gases leaked out in what was so tacky and white, it was basically KKK Mart. To go back to my AI girlfriend at the start, love you, Candace. The AI industry, as it currently stands, contributes...
Is your AI girlfriend Candace Owens?
God, I wish. In a way, isn't she all of our AI girlfriends? The AI industry, as it currently stands, contributes to 3.7% of the global carbon emissions. They've only been around for a few years. I'm sure that number will get much bigger. And the inclusion of things like the AI-generated search results in Google search and other search engines has made that a single Google search now has almost 5 times the amount of the carbon footprint that it used to do. Yes, you can technically get tools to turn these off and not show them anymore, but as far as I'm concerned, just because you're not looking at it, they still have to do the processing power to put it on there, and I have enough cognitive dissonance just to leave it the fuck alone and blame Google. That blood's on their hands, not mine.
Does Ecosia still exist?
Ecosia?
Ecosia, it's a search engine that used to plant a tree for every search.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if
they probably folded by now, but you know, put it in the fucking on the screen.
I want to find out live. Oh, they're still around.
And before we endorse them, real quick, type controversies after that.
Ecosia is still around. They've planted 200 and something million trees. That's a good sign. Ecosia controversy. They've just... One of the criticisms is that they've decreased the percentage of income devoted to planting trees, but they still do plant trees. So...
Clean as a whistle, mate.
Clean as a whistle. They haven't done any hate crimes yet, but they're a search engine, so it's bound to have...
Future-proof the video.
We've got a future-proof... If they've done a hate crime when you're watching this, let me know in the comments. And if you want to fund not doing hate crimes, you can find the Patreon link in the description. And if we ever do a hate crime, please don't...
Let us know in the comments.
Please let us know in the comments. Hey, any engagement's good engagement. As we said last time, don't ask what the Patreon can do for you, but what you can do for the Patreon. Did Ronald Reagan say that, or was that Nixon? JFK? Okay. JFK, who famously everyone loved, except for that one guy.
He's a very open-minded fella.
He should have quit while he was ahead. The American EPA said that it was going to remove the findings that climate change was dangerous to humans from its website, which means that the Environmental Protection Agency of one of the largest carbon-emitting countries has put the lives of corporations ahead of the 1.2 billion actual human lives at direct risk from climate-caused catastrophes. But that number must be from some crazy liberal scientific study paid off by big woke to fudge the numbers and help their own grant applications. Oh wait, no, actually, it was done by a conglomerate of 5 organisations who just happen to have some cojones. They do occasionally talk in front of the UN, which, as we all know, is just a shill for the globalist lizard organisation. So let's try and find a more reliable source. Well, I googled right-wing estimates for climate change caused death, and I got this delightful AI overview, which I'm going to put on screen.
It just says, everything's fine, don't worry about it. We chilling. We're chilling.
We're fine. Don't worry about it.
Because it's chill.
Actually, it just says that there is no reliable right-wing source for climate change estimates because they often hide the truth, which is what it says in Google's AI overview. So fuck my couch and call me JD Vance, because unlike a lot of what's been spat out by the AI-ness, this proves to be actually accurate. There has not been a single reliable right-wing source that accurately reports on the 1.2 billion lives at risk while companies and countries sit around stroking their egos in the cuck chair while Mother Earth gets Eiffel Towered. The only right-wing source we can trust is Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. Thank you.
Steal my fucking joke.
You goddamn right I did, because I'm cutting you out.
It's also a sucker to that live stream where he kept saying, I'm just cooking up some ribs with sweet potatoes.
I'm smoking these meats.
Smoking these meats, meat like a brisket. I'm making meats now. Give me the stock. Stock.
As established, we know that the AI overviews and things like Google are part of the fucking problem. But unlike your mum, I can't figure out how to turn them off. When politicians put the financial lives of their mates ahead of the actual lives of their voters, they have fucked us all magnificently in an unlubricated, heavily chafing mess. Yeah, but the fucking paper straws will fix it. Thanks, guys. Phenomenal work. So is climate change a conspiracy made up by Big Woke just to take away our beautiful single-use turtle food? No. It's very real, and we'll be talking a lot more about it in the future. While we still have a future anyway.
There is a future.
Yeah, it's like fucking hey. Over the next week, we've got this. Remember, those who deny climate change aren't just misinformed or confused. They are a propaganda machine, fueled by right-wing business owners, and they are paying for their investments with your lives. Yeah, get out. The woke agenda is fake, but the bloke agenda is forever and eternal. I've been Kieran MacLeod, and that has been Planet Earth.
We're signing off for good.
We're signing off for good.
Planet Earth is done.
To the bunkers, boys. Boop.